are we confident that the government and the leadership takes this seriously and takes this well and constructively?
Well, what we do is really work from among our colleagues in government. No? We hardly have audiences with the president. So at least from the secretaries and from the other officials down the line, we continue to remind them to pursue and to continue implementing whatever is their mandate. So at the end of the day, for example, we have the Interagency Council on Violence Against Women. So we continue to discuss how services can be improved, how violence against women desks, for example, at the barangay level can be functional. And our partners here are the Department of Interior and Local Government, who have a count that out of the 42,000 barangays nationwide, about 90% have already created their violence against women desk. And so we'd like to inform the general public that if women experience violence against women, they should be able to go to this person who has been designated to assist them and refer them to the necessary officials, like to the police or the social worker or to the hospital if necessary. So those are the things that we continue to work on with our colleagues in government.
Ms. Verzosa, I'm Ami Pamintuan of the
Hi,
Philippine
Ami.
Star. Hi.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the enforcement.
Yeah.
You mentioned that we have some really tough laws to protect women.
Yes.
Especially the one on domestic violence.
I've read
VAWC,
it. They call it VAWC, Violence Against Women and Their Children.
They have. I'm surprised that it even passed Congress. I think the men were sleeping.
We pushed for it in 2004.
I know. That was in 2004, and yet the enforcement is still weak. What's lacking? Is it a culture?
Yes.
Are women afraid to complain? Are barangay officials reluctant to help women?
Well, that's
because
one. Yes.
What can be done? I mean, do women need more education about their rights?
Certainly, women need more education, and that they should not believe all this air of sexual harassment and machismo that seems to be resurging. In previous years, mukhang we thought that nasosolve na yan, ano? Pero mukhang globally, there's a wave of machismo that's going on, and that's why we laud the efforts, for example, of the Me Too campaign abroad. And now, I think in government agencies and in the private sector, women are really getting more courage. And we have statistics to say. The Philippine Statistical Authority, in their National Demographic and Health Survey, tracks the prevalence of violence against women. The statistics now is like 1 out of 4 women say that they have experienced physical violence from among those that they surveyed nationwide. Dati, mas mataas yan. No? But they also track how many report to the police. 30% lang. Or, I mean, not the police. They seek help. Only 30%.
30% from 2004 when the law was passed to 30% from what period are we talking about?
They 3 times. They already did the survey 3 times. They do it every 5 years. 2012, 2013, no.
So 2008,
2012, and the latest one is 2017. So,
has there been a significant improvement? Because I think this problem is not just confined to women who don't know about their rights. Even women who are highly educated, in fact, they're more embarrassed to come out in the open and admit that they are victims of domestic violence.
They have surnames to protect, di ba?
Yes. So what's the remedy for that kind of problem?
Well, really massive education, massive dissemination, and constant talking about this issue, that it is a real issue. Kasi sa police, 33,000 lang. No? If you extrapolate 1 out of 4, 5 million yun eh. So that means a lot are still suffering in silence and nahihiya, and the stigma is there. But we also say it's not just really the women's part. Now, we also now are calling on the men to really behave and respect women. So there are movements like the Men Opposed to Violence Against Women, or the POPCOM has capacity building for what they call an ERPAT program, talking about paternal responsibility. I mean, I think that's DSWD, ERPAT, no, paternal responsibilities. POPCOM has Katropa, which talks about reproductive health and responsibilities of the men. So it takes everybody, men and women, to know that violence against women is a no-no. And then we should even start in schools. Diba? We have bullying that's happening. And it's also worrisome because the violence against women, violence against children survey that was conducted by the Council for Welfare of Children and UNICEF found out that boys are bullied, or more boys are suffering abuse. So, because violence can be intergenerational. If this is not addressed, if there's no intervention on that, they might end up as abusers when they get old. No? So we have to look at it very holistically, starting from the home, and then as they grow up, the work environment and the entire societal environment.
A little bit earlier, we talked with the National Commission on Women, Director Emmeline Verzosa, and the picture she painted of the situation of women now did seem a bit rosier than before. But do your numbers and do your figures jive with her numbers?
Well, we just have to look at the NDHS figures themselves. So what's being said was that it was 1 out of 5 who suffered physical violence aged 15 to 49. In 2008 and 2013, and
Okay.
it became 1 out of 4. Ibig sabihin mas dumami, oo. Kasi ang N mo ay mas maliit, no? Sa isa sa bawat 4. So mas dumami ang
So it's
kaso
20% versus
karahasan,
25%.
ang nakaranas. That's right. So medyo disturbing yon. Tapos ay gusto ko rin idagdag, tama naman si Director Mien na sa Violence Against Women desks, pero sa pag-ikot namin, kasi nagwo-work talaga kami sa grassroots level, marami sa mga Violence Against Women desk officers ay hindi pa natitrain. Kaya nadi-disappoint din yung mga victim survivors kung minsan sa NGO pa rin talaga tatakbo. So medyo mabigat yon sa amin. Kaya napakahalaga na mayroon talagang paglalaan ng pondo ang mga local governments para bigyan ng skills trainings yung kanilang Violence Against Women desk officers. Sa kasalukuyan kasi yung 5% GAD budget na pinanalo rin natin legislatively ay hindi naman din ginagamit ng maayos ng mga local governments. So hindi napupunta para sa proteksyon ng mga vulnerableng kababaihan.
Tinutukoy niyo po yung training, no? Ng mga but at least in terms of pure numbers, is compliance with the requirement to have a women's desk at least maganda yung numero, or is there actually a gap in are there stations, for example, that actually don't have any women's desk even?
Marami. Kaya gusto ko rin talagang maimbestigahan yung numero nitong DAVOS data, no? Kasi pagka bumaba ka talaga sa lokal, ibang-iba yung litrato na makikita mo. Kasi umikot kami sa post-Haiyan areas, umikot kami sa post-Marawi conflict areas. Hindi siya aktibo, hindi siya gumagalaw, katulad na nakalagay sa letra, no? Sa titik na
Do you have a number for
natin.
that in terms of compliance?
Medyo mahirap pagdating sa compliance, pero sa ganang amin lang, yung nakita namin, mababa siya dun sa 90%.
Ang naririnig naming report is that the women, especially sa mga underdeveloped communities, ang frontline dyan sa batas na yan in domestic violence is the barangay eh.
Dapat.
Pumupunta daw sila sa barangay, yung barangay, sinasabi lagi sa kanila, domestic problem yan eh. Bahala na kayo sa buhay niyo. You resolve it kapag may nasaktan na lang, saka lang sila
hanggang
papasok.
ngayon. Hanggang ngayon.
Up to now, yan ang problema. Anong remedyo doon? Actually, liable yung barangay, di ba? If they violate.
Oo. Ayon sa VAWC Act, ay dapat pwede silang ireklamo at parusahan din, no?
Kapag gano'n, saan magrereklamo? Sa pulis?
So,
Pag ayaw ng barangay, saan magrereklamo? Yun ang problema.
Oo. Sa pulis, sa Department of Justice o sa prosecutor,
Okay. Sa City Hall or
Commission on Human Rights. Dahil sa mga administrative, no, na mga suliranin na ganyan. So hindi lang barangay officials, in fact, ang remis, no, sa pag-observe sa Violence Against Women and Children kahit police. Nung minsan, di ko nasasabihin yung probinsya, kausap ko yung chief of police ng isang bayan dahil ayaw niya damputin yung nanggahasa sa bata na stepfather nung rape at VAWC Act bilang anak ng kanyang partner, no? At sinasabi, marami siyang dahilan, no? Marami siyang takot. So, ibig sabihin, hindi rin enabled itong mga police chiefs.